one of the more exciting moments of the day where we get to hear the trials, tribulations, and successful journeys of those that have pathwayed into the cybersecurity workforce. And so it's an honor for me to welcome Zainab Malik to the stage. Zainab is a dedicated and results-driven cybersecurity professional currently serving as a security event monitoring analyst at Deloitte. Originally from Pakistan, she moved to the United States during elementary school and later pursued her passion for technology by earning a degree in cybersecurity engineering from George Mason University. After graduating, Zainab launched her official cybersecurity career for Deloitte, where she has continued to grow and excel in her field. She is proud to be recognized as a security professional who brings sharp analytic skills and a critical investigative mindset to the table, playing a key role in detecting, analyzing, and responding to cyber threats. Her commitment to excellence and continuous learning drives her contributions to the evolving cybersecurity landscape. And so please join me in a loud round of applause for Zainab.
Hi, good morning everyone. It's truly an honor to be here today in Denver, Colorado. It's my first time in Colorado, and I will say that the elevation sickness is a real thing. But no, it's truly an honor to be here today, standing here, not just as a story showcase speaker, but as someone who once had no idea that this field even existed or what it was about. So, I came to the United States from Pakistan when I was just 7 years old. And from a very young age, I was taught to work hard and stay curious and never take anything for granted. Nothing is provided without hard work. I was taught that. So like many immigrant families, my parents who are watching this right now, they worked tirelessly to give us opportunities that they didn't have for a better future. And for the longest time, I thought my way of honoring that sacrifice was through medicine and biology, which is the right path, the respected, impactful path is helping others. So as I started my college journey, I declared myself a biomedical engineering degree major. Now, a few weeks into the semester and many chemistry labs in, I found myself struggling. I was attending classes and I was learning, but I wasn't inspired in the way that I wanted to be. I felt like I was just kind of there. And I kept asking myself the question, is this really what I want to do for the rest of my life? Do I really want to be stuck in chem labs for the rest of my life? And the answer was no. I didn't know yet what I was searching for, and a few weeks into the semester, I decided to change my declare my major to undeclared. And then one day, a turning point came from an unexpected conversation with my brother that would change the course of my life. I mentioned to him my confusion about my major and not sure what was right for me, and my brother brought up cybersecurity. And he was the only family member in the tech field at the time. And he was talking to me about how cybersecurity was going to change the world. I honestly remember being confused. I had no idea what it was. Was it just firewalls and antivirus systems and passwords? I had no idea. But the more we talked, the more I realized how deep and impactful the field was. He told me about how it was about protecting people and systems and nations. And he told me about how cybersecurity touches everything, from our national security, to our banks, to our airports, everything. And that spark of curiosity turned into action for me. So the following week at school, I decided to attend a cybersecurity seminar, which you could say was similar to this, but I'd be lying if I said that. It was a classroom full of 15 freshmen led by a professor. But the seminar was about cyber crimes and how different threat actors use various different techniques to expose infrastructure or to expose users' data. And the seminar also talked about how important a black hat's role is in situations like this. And I don't remember most of the topic of the seminar, but I do remember being really interested. All these terms that the professor was talking about sounded like they were straight out of a movie. But besides just that, I saw all these students that were also intrigued. They were asking questions, they were learning, they were really interested. And I realized the field was about solving problems, something that I enjoy and something that I think I'm pretty good at. So right then and there, I decided to switch my majors. Now, at George Mason University, I finally found where I belonged. It wasn't easy. I struggled to catch up to pace that many of my classmates already had, just learning basic terminology and basic knowledge. But I enjoyed that. I wasn't just learning technical skills, I was applying them. Through capstone projects with organizations like MITRE and Google, I was thrown into real-world challenges that made every classroom lecture come alive. I remember my favorite course was cryptography. It was about figuring out encryption and decryption, and it was like a puzzle to me. I loved it. I love a good puzzle. And for my senior project, I recall how my team and I had to create a web application using Azure pipelines. We had to secure the applications because confidential data was going to be stored within. So we were building code, but we were doing it with a purpose and with all safety measures that we could take. I felt like I finally won. Now, I want you all to take a moment and think back to the broke college days you guys may have had. I know I'm not unique with that experience. So COVID came around, and I was faced with a new challenge of financial hurdles. I had to find new ways to support myself and my education and the completion of my undergrad studies. And that's when I heard about the Last Mile Education Fund through one of my professors, Dr. Peggy Browse. The Last Mile Education Fund provides awards for students within their last semesters in completion of their degrees. They didn't require any certain GPA or any letter of recommendations, and it was a very straightforward application. And when I heard about it, I didn't think it was real. I was like, how could this be, But I didn't have anything to lose, so I went ahead and applied, and almost instantly, I was able to receive an award. And I'm grateful for organizations such as the Last Mile Education Fund. They provided awards that helped out in all aspects, not just tuition, but it could be used for anything. I remember whether it was used for gas money, because I was a commuter at the time, I didn't stay on campus, or whether I used it for coffee or even a slice of pizza for lunch. The Last Mile Education Fund really provided me with that chance. Their main goal is to invest in financially vulnerable students and give them the chance to complete their education without worrying about financial stress. And I'm grateful to have been part of this fund. So I graduated from George Mason University in December of 2021, and now I had to face a new set of challenges, which is the real world. Although I started networking and applying to many positions, whether it was internships or apprenticeships or full-time roles, I was struggling to hear back. I applied consistently for a few months, and I thought I was doing something wrong. I thought cybersecurity was a field that was growing and expected to be full of opportunities, and yet I was struggling. So I focused all my time into networking, anywhere and everywhere I could. I started asking all these professionals all the questions and seeking guidance, involving myself in various different apprenticeship programs. And one day I saw a post online about hiring a security analyst. So I reached out to the connection that posted it, and they asked me for my resume. And then the following week, I was able to land an interview in a pool of, I'm sure, a very large applicant pool. And so you could say this is due to luck, but honestly, I was just networking and connecting with all the right people as much as I could. So now fast forward today, I work as a security event monitoring analyst at Deloitte, and I know that I am the first line of defense in all security-related alerts. My work consists of investigating phishing tactics, to log analysis, to network investigation, and I'm glad to be able to make a difference daily. My time at university didn't just prepare me for a job, they prepared me for growth and development. And my journey is far from over. It has just started. I'm looking forward to growing in my career and eventually reaching my dream job of becoming a pen tester, which is the reason that I got into cybersecurity, if you go back to that seminar that I attended. I'm grateful for all the professors who have helped me along the way, all my mentors, all my professors, and especially the Last Mile Education Fund for their support. I would not have been able to do it without them. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that your path doesn't have to be straight to be strong. Detours aren't mistakes, they're just chapters in our stories. So all I can say is this field is for anyone and everyone, from people with extensive knowledge or who are born in it, to people who had no idea what this field was about 7 years ago, to now working as a professional and having a huge impact on my workplace. So my message here is to stay curious, keep asking questions, keep growing, and probably listen to your siblings. You never know which moment will shift your life. And that's all for me. Thank you all.
What an amazing story. Thank you, Zainab, for sharing that. And I do want to give and echo what Zainab said and give a shout out to Last Mile. And as Zainab said, Last Mile is one of those organizations that help get students across the finish line. I think their stats are pretty impressive. More than 70% of those that they jump in to support actually make it across the finish line, which is a testament. And those are students that were in the sort of that space of dropping out and having